Hello, Peter.
Yes, speaking
Hi.
England, how are you?
I'm all right. Yourself?
Sorry?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much under the circumstances. So,
Yes, I'm sorry to hear about what's happened with you and your visa being denied. So tell us, why has your visa been denied?
well, it's been denied because in 1995, when I was in my 20s, I received a lengthy prison sentence, which is more than 5 years. So,
Okay.
automatically on that, you disqualify for a visa. So you have to then apply for a waiver, which cancels out the visa.
Okay.
So, and this can take 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay.
And because it wasn't done, because people who thought they could do it didn't know, or didn't know about it, or didn't have a clue, or they want to pretend to know more than what they actually do. It's cost me valuable time, and people that could have sorted it, didn't have a chance to sort it because obviously we thought it was being taken care of by another party, which, in all intents and purposes, when the final on the 11th hour, they tell us that we haven't got a clue how to deal with it. So, I've had to. I've now applied for the waiver, but this should have been done while we was in camp 5-6 weeks ago, being there, and it just wasn't done. So basically, it's caused a massive headache.
I know, Peter, that you're a very professional man, and you won't stand for any nonsense. Why has this seems very unprofessional, what has happened here? I mean, you're going to America. I mean, it's been known of your history in the past for many years, so this should have been sorted way beforehand.
Well, it should have been, but again, certain people, which obviously I'm not going to draw comments with, but
Okay.
certain people should have known better. I always made a fact of there could be a problem getting in the US.
Yes.
But these people seem to think they can deal with it. In actual fact, I've had to find out myself exactly what I need to do. On the 11th hour. And not only that, I've got a son and I've got a nephew, like both my kids anyway. So I had to then even go and try and get in because I wanted to speak to the border control myself and see exactly what's required. So I ended up spending 6 or 7 hours in police custody over there, yeah, taking statements and everything else and going through detailed issue exactly what needs to be done. And they told me exactly what I need to do, get a waiver. So I'm glad I went down there, although it was an inconvenience and I spent 6 hours in a police station. I still at least had to find out myself because, to be honest, I got no help out there. And this is where we are because people obviously don't know what they're doing.
Your role as a trainer for Tyson and Huey is enough pressure as it is. That's not something you should have to be dealing with. Who would be dealing with your visa? Who would be responsible for that, generally?
Well, look, it's all down to management teams and everything else, and you're absolutely right because I'm training them 3 times a day, even to what they eat and sleep, everything. It's a lot of commitment, isn't it? So I have not got the time to start filling in papers, doing this, doing that, but we found ourselves doing quite a lot of things, to be honest with you, which I'm not amused with. But it hasn't been a good camp. And as far as when I say it hasn't been a good camp, training's gone well because I am a perfectionist. If there was something wrong with that camp and preparation, we would not be fighting, period. So that's not what I'm saying. But the pressure I've had on me, on the back of my mind, what's going to happen? Can I get in here? And people's telling me, yeah, it's going to be okay. We can fix it, buddy, and all this. It's just out now. It's outrageous, to be honest, and it's caused me 11th hour. It's caused me a massive problem.
It's painful as well going to America and then getting then told you're not welcome in here. It's an awful feeling.
Well, to be honest, it's not just that, and I'm not blaming American officials or anything. They're just doing their job, And the thing is, but they said, look, we know all about you. We'd like to let you in. We know why you're here. It's a past offence. Said, we're happy with you. He said, look, if it was us, we'd let you in because we want to let you in. He said, but we have to abide by the law. He said, but you've not gone through the correct procedure. You have to get a waiver. He said, because he showed me the visa. Anything over 5 years, you don't qualify for a visa. So I've done over 5 years, so straight away, the visa doesn't apply to me. So I automatically would be refused on any visa coming into the States. This is why I need a waiver. But nobody's told me about a waiver. So if they was intent on getting me and realised the importance of having the trainer in the corner, then they would have found out all of this in the first place. But, they never did. It took me to find it out myself.
Well, you're the main man behind Tyson Fury and Hughie Fury and Phil. Now, at the end of the day, to get you out and to take you out of the mix, you've been the guy guiding Tyson. Everyone knows that you've been the man that's got Tyson on the straight and narrow. Everybody knows you're the guy that's got Tyson, training correctly and trained properly. Tyson's admitted it himself. Now, the fact that you're not going to be in his corner, and they know, whoever was dealing with this matter knew, the quick way to deal with this situation was to make sure on the 11th hour that there's no way you could get over the border. It sounds to me that this was a setup all along.
Well, that's only certain people would know that. I wouldn't point the fingers, It could be just negligence, or it could be some people just being out and out, trying to be too clever for what really the brain cell requires them to do. They might try and be too clever, think themselves cleverer than everybody else, and really they're blagging the way through life and they don't know anything. But the bottom line is, when I do things myself to get done right, I've got lawyers, I've got help in America. I know good people because I'm a nice person. I've got a lot of friends. I've got people like you everywhere. So what I'm saying is, I could have done this issue and sorted it, but people told me they had it in control, and really they had nothing in control at all. So my hands have been tied, so there's absolutely nothing I can do. And, it's not been a refusal where I can't in the States. It's the fact of just having 3 or 4 weeks, up to 6 weeks it can take to go through the correct procedures. And at 45 years of age and being in trouble in my young career, in my life, I certainly don't want to breach any laws or any border controls at the stage of this game. So it's certainly... it's not been done correctly at all. It's a shambles, to be honest.
It is shambles. It is a shambles. It's now almost 7 o'clock. I believe Tyson's going to be coming into the ring at 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
Yes, he is.
What are your thoughts on the fight now? I mean, obviously you're back at home, you're watching the fight. What are your thoughts? Of course, Hughie's fighting first. So, what are your thoughts about Hughie first? He seems to have a tough opponent there.
Well, yeah, we're going to match Hughie. We're not going to match Hughie with cannon fodder. He's a tough kid. He's done a lot in the amateurs, so he's up against a cage fighter, an MMA fighter. He's had 18 or 20 fights. He's done okay in that. He's a big guy. He weighs in at 245. Hughie's 239. He's about 6'5", 6'6". So he's about an inch in the height. So they're pretty well matched. And this guy is a very powerful guy. He comes throwing a lot of punches, so it's going to be interesting. I see him not landing any bombs on Hughie because Hughie will just do a number on him, and I think the guy will get knocked out within a couple of rounds.
Okay.
So that's my opinion on that fight. But then again, Hughie, extremely disappointed I'm not there, because I've been with Hughie from a child, and he's not happy with it. But I said to him, look, let's get the job done. And they both know what they're going to do, so they are getting the job done. And Hughie, he's got a steely confidence, and he don't give a shit. He fights on Mars, so he knows I spoke to him. He's got his instruction. And the most important thing here, let's not forget, they've been in training camp with me from the 14th of January, leading up to the fight. Hughie, he's got a dedicated 6 weeks of hardcore training, hardcore sparring, and he knows what he's got to do. So with Hughie, and even Tyson is exactly the same. They've only got to stick to the game plan that's been drummed into them. And, they should not be an issue. However, not so much as Hughie, because I don't really see a problem for Hughie. I see Hughie's already on a British level standard fighter. He could fight the British champion. He could fight the British champion tomorrow. So basically, Hughie's above all these mediocre guys. So I don't see any issue with you at all. So I'm just looking forward to watching you on TV, just watching you do a good performance like I fully know you will do.
Okay.
But Tyson, it's another matter entirely. You know, you've got a world-class fighter in Cunningham. He's had a 3-month dedicated training camp. He slept Tyson Fury. This is world title material. Yeah, he's got one of the best trainers in the world in his corner. You know, so and now we've got Tyson with his trainer back in Belgium. So absolutely right. It's outrageous what's happened. Yeah, once we get through this fight, God willing, this will never ever happen again. And certain people around me are going to be sacked. So, you know, that's through negligence and being stupid. So this is not going to be left unscathed. You know, somebody will have his last pay packet on tonight's fight, and that's a fact. So I am in control of Tyson's future. I'm in control of all of them. I am the main person behind the whole team, yeah, because I want them to succeed, and they're my family, and they will do whatever I say. So people will be sacked as a result of this. So that's where we are. But where I stand at the moment, I'm happy with things. And, you know, Tyson can get in there, and he should do a job on Cunningham. So
Okay.
obviously, it's not ideal.
Not ideal. Now, there's a few things I've seen, and some good friends have spoken to me, and I've seen them on YouTube. That they've commented. Some of the things, the comments they've made. First of all, they talked about Tyson's weight being almost 10 pounds heavier coming in against Cunningham, and a lot heavier than he was against Kevin Johnson. Any reason behind that?
Well, yeah, I think you've had misinformation, because he's actually 3 pounds lighter than when he boxed Kevin Johnson. It might be 4 or 5 pounds lighter. He's weighing in Tyson around 17 stone 9.
They said he's 252 or 254 pounds. That's what they weighed in America. That was the weigh-in yesterday.
Right. Well, I don't. What was he for Johnson?
I'm not sure, but they said he was 10 pounds lighter against Johnson.
No, he's not. It's the other way around, actually.
So he's lighter in this camp then.
He's light from this camp. He's a lot lighter. I think he's 5 pounds lighter.
Great. Okay, that's
he
good.
was in stones. He was coming in at 18 stone 2 against Kevin Johnson.
Right.
For this fight, he's coming in at 17.9. So you've got 5 or 6 pounds lighter.
Right.
So
yeah, okay.
I'd absolutely agree with that, but that's not happened. He's lighter. He's in better shape than what he is for Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's more faster. He's lighter on his feet, and we've dropped the weight to give him the speed. So,
okay.
you know,
So
he's still very strong at that weight. So it's a weight where he's not going to be plodding and be heavy on his feet.
Right, so we can rebuff that. Okay, the next thing was,
yes.
There was something I personally saw when they did the weigh-in. Tyson afterwards almost went to hug Steve Cunningham. Why would you do that?
You know, I can't answer. You know, I'm not there. I don't know. I have no idea. But Tyson, you know, he's a nice lad, and he's religious as well. He believes in God. And I think when I spoke to him before, I said, you know, just cool it off a bit. I said, because obviously, I said, you can go over the top of the public. I said, the thing is, this is a God-fearing man. I said, so are we all. I said, so, you know, I want you to get out there safe. I want Cunningham to get out there safe. I don't want nobody to get hurt. I said, so, you know, maybe that's played on his mind. And, you know, Tyson, he does talk a lot just to get the fight of interest and get the public's emotions running. But he's nothing like what he speaks, you know. He does believe in God, and he is a nice lad. So maybe he wants to give Cunningham a hug just to say, you know, there's no hard feelings or something. I don't know.
And the American guy, Chris Mannix, who I know, I did an interview with when he was in England. He said to Tyson, "Look, no, none of that. No hugging on stage. You know, while doing the weigh-in." So, you know, they did highlight that, and fans can get a bit worried. They see signs that think, "Oh, he looks a bit nervous. He looks a bit concerned." You know, but you know, you're the man behind Tyson. What sort of mood is Tyson in?
Well, you know, Tyson's ready. You know, we've had a good conversation. You know, he's as ready as can be. You know, has this had any effect on Tyson? Well, the answer is it must have. You know, because you know, you look around and you know, the main guy in the corner. the main guy at the back of it is not there. So it will have had some kind of an effect, but not an effect where Chrysler's not going to do his job.
Okay.
So I don't see it having much impact on him, to be honest. I think Tyson's ready, mentally focused, as I said. We've had a good training camp, and basically, he said to me this evening, just now as we spoke,
Yep.
look, I've only got to do what you said. I've only got to do exactly what we're getting for. Done in the sparring, and he said that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay focused. He said, and that's and Clifton Mitchell, he's carrying out my instructions to the letter. I've gone over detailed things with him. Also, my son Yui, I'm going to be speaking with him as the fight's going on, and he can basically, if I need to say anything during the fight or whatever, Yui can also pass messages on and make sure things are getting done